If there was a brand out there that kind of just encompasses the fine, I'll do it myself mentality, it's probably Apex wheels, because essentially that's what they were founded on back in 2007 when they were trying to find wheels for an E30 BMW M3, and they just couldn't find anything they like. And said, you know what, we're just gonna do it ourselves. And honestly, I kind of dig that. So today we are gonna be taking a look at the VS-5 family of wheels from Apex Wheels. And I do mean family because there are 4 of these things that have come out now. And honestly, I think they deserve an introduction of their own and to be gone through. And it does get a little bit confusing when it comes to which wheel of this family might work best for what I'm looking for with my car, and that is what we are here to answer today. Welcome to Martini Works Unboxed, where we do just that. We go over pretty much all the products that we offer on martiniworks.com, whether it comes to wheels, suspension bits, tires, performance parts, whatever it might be. That way you know all the information you need to know going into buying some new parts for your car, so you aren't disappointed with the outcome when they show up to your door. You make an educated purchase. That being said, let's go ahead and dive into the VS-5 family of wheels from Apex Wheels, starting with the VS-5. Now this right here is the entry level version of the VS-5. This is a flow formed wheel coming in right around 21.3 pounds and offering quite a bit for what it is. Obviously, you are getting the split 5-spoke design here. It's a very iconic design, not only with how it looks, but how well it performs. When it comes to overall designs of wheels, Apex knows that the split windowed 5-spoke design is one of the strongest wheels and one of the best wheels out there when it comes to distributing a lot of that load throughout the entire wheel. Now, with it being flow formed, you are essentially getting a cast face to the wheel, and then the barrel is essentially forged out into its final shape and size. This one being an 18 by 10 size, like I said, coming in at 21.3 pounds, making it a very compatible wheel in the aftermarket scene when it comes to overall load rating, which sits right anywhere between 1,400 and 1,600 pounds, depending on the size of the wheel and the vehicle application that you are looking for, and it does the job very, very well. One thing that Apex Wheels, I will say, does an incredible job with is the engineering of their wheels. Now, there's a lot of talk out there, especially nowadays, on who is making whose wheels and where wheels are coming from and what they actually are. But one thing that Apex does that I think is very underrated in the public's eye is the amount of engineering and third-party testing that they go through with their designs for each of these wheels. Not only are they JWL and VIA certified, they go above and beyond that to have a third party right here in the United States go through and test these wheels, do an even more rigorous test, so they know that these wheels are definitely going to be able to handle pretty much anything that you throw at them. They do it right here in the United States, in Michigan, I believe, and they can test it, put it through more load cycles than your traditional JWL or VIA testing will, just to make sure that they are going to be quality and can handle pretty much anything, which I think is pretty neat. A lot of brands out there will, especially when it comes to those stamps, you'll see the VIA, JWL stamped on pretty much anything. It's not necessarily a hard thing to get. The minimums are out there, and a lot of brands will just do that to be able to put that on their wheels. But it's good to know a lot of those brands, like your Volk Racing, your Works, they have their own version of this same type of thing as well. You'll see like JWL plus R or something like that, where they take that same test basis and improve upon it even more to put their wheels through more testing. And it's essentially what they're doing right here in the United States. So all that being said, that is basically the VS-5 for you. You are getting a decent amount of concavity. There's 3 different concavity profiles that they go with for the flow form wheel, since you are using a mold to cast the face of the wheel. Them opening multiple molds to focus on concavity, I think, is important as well. You do get a lot more design elements out of a more concave wheel. The side milling on the spokes is also a nice feature. That's something that's not typically done, especially in your cast or flow formed wheels. It's an additional process that typically needs to be done, or at least cleaned up. Adds to overall manufacturing time and, of course, cost. And then again, we are getting a pretty lightweight wheel with the overall design. We do have some milling on the back to shave some additional weight too. Have some engraved wheel specs on the back, so if you are running these at the track or running them where you are swapping tires or wheels out consistently, easy enough to read, so you don't have to take a flashlight and dig around in the inside of the wheel, clean brake dust off to figure out what size wheel you're throwing on. So that is the VS-5, but the big brother of the VS-5 is this one right here, the VS-5RS. This is the fully forged monoblock version of this wheel that is kind of insane when it comes to what it packs all into one wheel. This coming in right around 18 pounds for an 18 by 10 wheel is absolutely incredible. Again, being a fully forged monoblock wheel, we get a really good amount of concavity here. You're not reliant on a mold to decide the concavity for you. When it comes to that side pocketing and milling on the spokes here, we get incredibly thin. I believe down to 3 millimeters in some spot where these spokes get down to, which is absolutely insane because you are cutting away a ton of material, which helps save weight. Now you can get away with that on a fully forged wheel because the forging makes the aluminum stronger compared to like a cast or a flow form wheel. So you don't have to have as much material there to meet the load rating requirements that you're looking for because the strength is already there. So you can help save weight while still maintaining the strength and the load rating that you're looking for, which is why a lot of people like to go with forged wheels for motorsports applications. Speaking of load rating wise, you are getting a little bit of a higher load rating between 1,500 and 1,600 pounds, depending on the JWL standards and fitments for the vehicles. Coming in at 18.5 pounds, like I said, for an 18 by 10 plus 25. And it's truly designed to be like the ultimate track weapon wheel out there. You'll also notice if you look on the side of the wheel here, you do have these kind of bare metal strips. And this, if you rub your finger over, it feels like a metal file. This is bead knurling. Now, this has become pretty popular in a lot of aftermarket wheels nowadays, but this bead knurling, I will say, is done the correct way. It's done after the entire wheel is painted, so you're not having to fill those grooves or anything like that. And what this is for anyone out there looking to run some lower tire pressure applications. So if you're on the track running lower tire pressures, you're not gonna have to worry as much about debeading. This is going to help a lot with that, and the fact that it is done the right way. There's no paint afterwards filling these gaps. It does have like a nice grip to it, I guess you could say. These are done really nice and just makes this overall a really fantastic wheel. These things are incredibly light. I cannot get over it. So those are your first two of the VS5 line, but we have two more to go through and they get kind of a little more crazier. So I'm gonna grab those real quick. Moving along down the family, we get to the VS-5RE, or their forged Enduro version of the VS5. Now, probably noticed that this looks a bit different from the first two that we've taken a look at, specifically in the outer lip design here and the overall thickness of the spokes. This wheel is designed for a heavier load rating. So vehicles that have a little bit more weight to them, maybe vehicles that are putting down some serious grip on the track or even some serious downforce that actually put more stress on the wheels. That's what these wheels were designed specifically for. So still a forged monoblock wheel, but coming in a little bit heavier, but with a much higher load rating to be able to handle that stress. So compared to the 18 or so pounds from the RS, this one coming in at 21.7 pounds, so about a 3-pound difference there, but you are gaining an additional load rating up to 2,100 pounds. So being able to go through a lot more, being able to handle a lot more stress, being able to, be put through a lot more higher stress situations because of the change in design, not only in the actual face of the wheel, but the barrel of the wheel and the actual lips of the wheel as well. So a lot of engineering, again, going into this version of the VS5 just to be able to go through quite a bit more. And we don't get center caps in this one. We do get that bead knurling. Again, we still do get some pocketing on the back to help shave some weight. Again, coming in a little bit heavier, but that is kind of the trade-off you have to pay for a much stronger wheel. And then closing out the family is going to be the VS-5RX. Now this is part of their forged touring line. Now you'll notice that this one is much bigger than this one. This is a 20 by 10. So coming in larger sizes for your performance SUVs and sedans out there that are just requiring bigger wheels. No surprise that vehicles are just coming with bigger wheels right off the line nowadays. And as we unfortunately tend to get a little bit older and have a little bit more responsibilities and aren't driving sports coupes everywhere as much as we'd love to, and getting into things like X3s or X3Ms, or if you pick up like a Tesla or something like that, these are what these wheels are designed for, offering a lot of the forged performance stuff that you get from Apex wheels in general into some larger sizes and fitments for those vehicles. So again, 3D scanning all of those vehicles to make sure that they're clearing brakes, make sure that they're getting really good fitment to them, that the sizes are going to work well, and that they're going to do what you really need them to do. So again, really opening up the VS5 design, which I think looks incredible in a 20-inch diameter, and still coming in really lightweight in those sizes. When it comes to some 20-inch wheels like this from factory, you're going to be saving anywhere between 10 to 12 pounds per wheel. This one coming in at 24.7 pounds when some stock wheels come in well over 30 pounds per wheel. So might not sound like a ton of weight savings, but when it comes to unsprung weight, that is quite a bit of a difference, especially when it comes to things like EVs and things like that. That has a huge impact on your range. So of course, these are gonna have a bit of a higher load rating as well. 2,100 pounds is what you're looking at, and really, again, catering towards those performance sedans and SUVs, things that are taking those larger diameter wheels. And then the finish on this one is quite insane. This is what they call their brushed clear finish. So it looks a bit raw in a sense, but the entire wheel, the sides of the spokes, the face of the spokes, the barrel, the lip, everything has been brushed and then gone over with a clear coat, giving it a really unique finish to it. Definitely one that's gonna stand out. So there you have it. There has been your breakdown of the VS-5 family of wheels from Apex Wheels. Hopefully clears up any questions that you might have on these wheels when it comes to which one might be best for each line of them. But of course, if you do have any questions, you maybe just want to make sure you're getting the right wheel for your car, maybe you have questions with fitment, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help with that as well. And of course, we just got Apex Wheels added to the Martini Works website. So if you want to check them out for yourself, see what's out there, see what's available, you can go do that over at martiniworks.com. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to Martini Works Unbox yet, please consider doing so and let us know what you'd like us to take a look at next. Remember to mod your car with your friends over at martiniworks.com. We'll see you later.